Though I do get clients, especially from Canada and US, where they have these schemes where, some Babaji, you pay some $20,000 or something like that, and he gives you a guarantee that you will get moksha and you are part of it. His 20 disciples for that year, and he's going to give a guarantee that you will get a moksha. So I do hear these funny things from during consultations, but fact of the matter is, anybody who is trying to give you a guarantee is faking it. Hello and namaste, and thank you so much for visiting my channel. My name is Karthik Gaur, and please do subscribe and click the bell icon to ensure that whenever we upload a webinar or a video, you are the first ones to know. Thank you so much. Karaka. Karaka at a very, very basic level can be denoted as a project manager. I always like to denote it as a project manager, or a planet or a house which is going to ensure that a particular work can be done or a particular work doesn't get done. Okay, so it's like in olden days, if you want to get married, then probably you need the wishes of your father or mother, you know if you look at the olden day setup, right? So in a way, the parents or the fourth house to that level also becomes very important when it comes to marriage, because especially I'm talking about olden days time, because things have changed a little bit now. But the fact of the matter is, even in today's time, it is more of a marriage which is more in the seventh house. Whereas if you look at in the previous probably things 20 years back, it was more like a marriage between two families, right? So the fourth house to that level also becomes very important. Yeah. So whenever you check horoscopes, especially for people who are very strongly attached in terms of joint families or families, etc., the fourth house impacts huge as far as marriage is concerned. Fourth house, anyways, for a male chart, it impacts a lot, because that is your preferences, or that is what you expect in a relationship for a male, and the 10th house for a female, right? It is those extra considerations that you want in your relationship, in your marriage. Like if Saturn is in the fourth house, then you want your partner or your spouse or your wife to be very hardworking or very traditional, right? Whereas if there is Jupiter, then you are almost searching for a god. So, what is Karaka? Understanding Karaka is very important. Okay, and Karaka, comes from the word Kara. Technically means to do. The one who is the doer. The power of action, right? Like in cricket, that if you are chasing the team, you're chasing the run, then definitely who is going to be the Karaka for India's victory. Then probably we would say in today's time a Virat Kohli, or a Hardik Pandya, or somebody. Those are the Karakas which are being developed by Team India to ensure that we can win the match, right? So Karaka is, in a very cliche term, we can say are the finishers, are the ones who are going to ensure they get the things done, or the guys, those who have the key to success, right? Or the planets or the houses or the signs which are so important, because they are the center forwards. They are that is the area where the game is being played, or that is the pitch itself. So Karaka works at a different level. So as I said that Karaka is coming from a word Kara, and the additional Ka, which makes Karaka, is the addition of Brahma. Hence Ka Akshara is associated with Brahma, and it has the power of creation. So now probably you can sort of understand or correlate why probably Balaji Telefilms or a Karan Johar, or for like that matter even Rakesh Roshan, they always use the word K, to name their movies. So can we say that it has got a lot to do with Brahmakshara? So Karaka, the Ka Akshara is all about your creation. The Ka Akshara is all about, you know, the power of Brahma. The Ka Akshara is all about how you can get the work done, because you know the power of Brahma is the power of creation. We are all created by Brahma from the sixth house, and that is very important. You know, now whenever we talk about the decisions, whenever we talk about an ability to do things, there are three sections which are very important. You know, one is you yourself, right? That, let's say you wanted to attend the class today, so you ensure that you want to attend the class. That is the start of your belief system, so to say. Yeah. The other is the society, which means that, hey, you know, I want to attend the class, you know, but I have to attend the wedding, or I have to drop my mom to the office, or, oh, you know, I have promised this, or I've got some banking work, whatever it is. So society as a general also is a key stakeholder when it comes to your decision making, right? And the last but not the least is God itself. You wanted to attend, you know, you have got nothing to do, but probably the internet is not working, you know, or you were okay till the end, but suddenly you fell down and you aren't well now. So you have to sort of, you can't attend, you have to rest it out, you know. So the will of the God is also very, very important, you know. Now the question for you all, you know, do dogs have all the three karakas functional? You know, do you want to sort of, anybody wants to try and give me an answer if yes or if no? And if no, which part of these three is not functional as far as, let's say, a dog or the animal kingdom is concerned? You know, as I said, that the three important decision makers are always there. You know, one is you, the other is God, and the third one is, you know, the society. And then when it comes to God, or when it comes to dog, you know, the will of the God somewhere down the line is very much present. What they want to do is very much present. But as far as society is concerned, you know, that is something, you know, which probably they are not too inclined to even understand it, right? You have never seen a dog that, hey, you know, let us not hold hands because, you know, probably somebody is looking at us from that other building. No, they don't think, right? They do what they want to do on the road, you know, while walking, you know, anything, you know, they don't care at all. So this is what makes a human being different, because we are bounded by society. That's our Chandra. You know, we are social animal. Now some people might be extra social, some might be you know, not so much into society, but the fact of the matter is that it doesn't matter. As far as dog is concerned, you know, they don't care about the implications of society. Okay, so that is very important. So always remember that there are three factors when it comes to the whole concept. Okay. So Sudhendra, what were we talking? Yeah. So you are writing after we already discussed it. Anyways, so it's very important. When it comes to the power of action, it is very important. Always remember, and these are the three reasons why the Karakas work at three levels. Always understand there is a connection somewhere down the line with the concept of trines. There is a connection somewhere with the tripod of life. There is also something which is said to be as important in terms of, you know, what we call it as the power of Om, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesha. You know, do you know that Om technically has the power of all three, Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesha? And it is not just Shiva Bija. Anyways, so we are going to take it forward. Now, let us understand a little bit about the types of Karaka. Very, very important. Please, you know, concentrate a little. Okay. So there are three types of Karakas, as I said. One which is called as your Naisargika Karaka. All the foreigners, you know, please, you know, in your home, try to repeat it. You know, one which is called as Naisargika Karaka. Naisargika means natural, and it is more, in terms of things which are very natural to you, like mountains, water, etc., etc. Those are associated with the Navagrahas. Okay, and that is connected with Brahma. Okay, because those are the roots to your creation. Those are created in a way by Brahma. Right from the time we are born, we are seeing a mountain in the Himalayas, or the snow, snow mountain, so to say. Now no one of us has seen it, being built, so to say, but it is there. So we probably say that, hey, Brahma, in the process of creation, has created this, right? So those are all your Naisargika Karaka. We'll be doing it in detail, don't worry, right? The other is your Sthira Karaka. Sthira Karakas are always fixed, right? And they are associated with your Saptagrahas. Why? Because it's like your father or mother. They are all, the concept of father or mother is fixed. The relationship with your father or mother can change. Like somebody else might have a father, who does a lot for them. Somebody else might have a father, who is not done anything. Then there might be third person, who might have lost their father very early at age, right? So the Anubhava part is something which is associated with your Charakaraka. So Charakaraka is your temporary relationship, what you are going through in this part of your life, based on your karma. So the only Charakaraka in which, in a way, your karmic sort of life is being taken into consideration is the third one, which is your Charakaraka. So let's say everybody has a wife, but do everybody have a stable relationship? Does everybody have a relationship at all? Right? How do some people have, a stable relationship and genuinely happy for 25 years, 30 years, and very happy? No problem at all as far as relationship is concerned. Some people having constant problem, then somebody not being able to get married till the age of 40, 45, or never in their life also sometimes. That depends on your temporary relationship, which is your Charakaraka. Okay, so these are the three stages of checking your Karaka, and it is always important. Now on the right hand side, if we see, on the right hand side, if we see, there is something called as the chart, which is going to tell you about the concept or the tattva of these three Karakas. Okay, let's say everybody knows that Venus and Mercury are the two Rajas planet, okay, and are associated with the power of creation. Okay, so we can say that the power of creation is associated with the movable signs. Okay, movable sign has the power of creation, and hence it is associated especially with foreign tours, something related to movement. They say that things which don't move, or when a person doesn't move, they become very stagnant, then they become obese, right? And that's why we are all supposed to at least walk 10,000 steps a day, or at least have an hour of exercise, or something whereby we don't become sthira, right? We are human beings, we are not stones, so we are supposed to move. So rajas to that help to that level helps you to move, whereas sattva is sun, moon, and Jupiter. Now that's more of your the balance factor, the sattva part of it, generally all the dual signs, so they move a bit, but at the same time they are not constantly moving, so enough to maintain the balance, as they say. I'm not going to put on weight, I'm not going to lose weight, I'm going to be what is my weight, since 10 years, because I'm doing just enough to ensure I'm able to maintain my weight. The last but not the least is the tamas, which is all about Saturn and Mangal, and they are associated with the fixity. They say that the tamas is generated purely due to fixity. Why? Because we are not able to change ourselves. And they say that if you don't change yourself, if you don't perform, you perish. If you are not what is that famous quote of Shivakera? Don't do different things, but do things differently, right? So that doing things differently is always blocked by tamas planet because of their fixity. Whereas the Rajas planet, Venus and Mercury, are Rajas planet. They are always ready to do something new. And that's their mobility. They are ready to travel to learn. They are ready to travel to do trading. They are ready to travel. And that's the beauty about Rajas. The negative part about Rajas is that, hey, because of too much of Rajas, you tend to lose the Sattva. Right? Because you are constantly traveling, then you are seeing new things, then you make money, then you get into the wrong habits, so to say. Whereas the problem with tamas, or the good thing about tamas, is that it doesn't like too much things to change. Yeah, I like eating my daily, idli or dosa. I'm okay with eating idli and dosa throughout my life. Yeah, I like my chair. I'm okay to sit in this chair for the next 20 years. I'm okay with, not having new chair. So there is a good and bad. The bad part is that fixity, causes a little bit of problem. Causes, it's like, a river which is not going to flow becomes a very, very smelly pond. That there is too much of stagnation, and then it becomes a gutter, right? And then it starts smelling. Why? Because there is no flow. And that flow is very much required in a human life to ensure that the karakas are moving at all times. But at the same time, there are certain things in life which cannot be changed. Everybody has a father and mother. Yes, everybody has a father and mother. Now that is a root principle which nobody can change. Yeah. And so that becomes, what is called as your sthira karakas. They are the important grahas, but they are very important when it comes to the major sort of relationship building. Then there are certain karakas which can move. Let's say let's say for example, Chandra or Moon, let's say, is mother. Okay, or sign Cancer, let's say, is associated with mother or the fourth house or your comfort. But in your Charakaraka, there is something called as your Matrikaraka. Now that Matrikaraka might decide that probably your relationship with your mother could be a little problematic, or your mother is somebody who is treating you as an enemy. I have a very, very important client, and unfortunately he has got certain yoga, as a result of which his mother is always against him. Whatever he does, his mother has to oppose and create a problem for him. So it beats the logic that a mother is never going to be your enemy. The fact is, the answer is that it is very well possible, depending on some past life karma, that your Charamatri Karaka can be very fatal for you, as a result of which your mother could be your biggest enemy, based on your own karmas. So that is understood. Okay, so here we are very clear in terms of the concept. Now when it comes to the Rajas part of it, or the Naisargika Karaka, we see that all 9 planets, including Ketu, is part of the Naisargika Karaka. Okay, whereas when it comes to the Charakaraka, it is 8 Karakas. What is not included is Ketu, because Ketu is a Moksha Karaka. So the whole logic is that, hey, you can't be born with Ketu as your Moksha Karaka in your Charakaraka scheme and not get moksha. That means everybody is getting moksha, because everybody has got that spark inside, or everybody is in a way coming with a guarantee, because there is a planet which is your Moksha Karaka planet. So at a very, very symbolical level, or when we say Naisargika level, there is Ketu, which is your Moksha Karaka, which is a planet which can lead you to spirituality. But when it comes to Charakaraka, Ketu says that, hey, let me not be biased. I'm going to stay out of it because I can't give a guarantee to a human being that, hey, 100% you will get moksha. Though I do get clients, especially from Canada and US, where they have these schemes where, some Babaji, you pay some $20,000 or something like that, and he gives you a guarantee that you will get moksha and you are part of it, his 20 disciples for that year. And, he's going to give a guarantee that you will get a moksha. So I do hear these funny things from during consultations, but fact of the matter is, anybody who is trying to give you a guarantee is faking it. It's a scam. It's something which is very, very wrong, because there is no guarantee. You really have to work for it, and the process is very tough, right? So when it comes to Charakaraka, based on your karma, see, Charakaraka, you have to understand, when you talk about the temporary, right? We are saying here this is temporary, and this is coming because of your past life karma, right? Based on your past life karma, you are getting a nice wife or a headache with your relationship. You are getting good work or you are getting bad work. You are getting good money or bad money. So when everything is associated in a way, as far as your Charakaraka is concerned, related to your past life, how can there be a Moksha Karaka? Because if there was a Moksha Karaka in the past life, there was no reason for you to be born. That means your karmas are not that strong, or your karmas are not that ripened enough for you to get moksha. Agreed? So in this birth, you have to be with 8 Charakarakas, where, Ketu cannot be a Moksha Karaka planet, and Ketu has to opt out of the Charakaraka scheme. Okay. Whereas when it comes to the Sthira Karaka, in Sthira Karaka, both the Rahu and Ketu are not part of it. Okay. Because it is going to be something which is going to be related to the sustenance part of it, and the nodes which are not full bodies, and Rahu is the top half and Ketu is the bottom half, cannot be having the role to play as far as your Sthira Karaka is concerned. But Rahu will play a part when it is your Charakaraka, and Rahu and Ketu both play a part when it is your Naisargika Karaka. I know this is, especially for all those who are beginners, it might be a little bit of, too much of information at the same time, but it's important for us to start learning. And we have to start learning at this level, else, there's so much to learn that I don't know when we will be able to actually reach that level. Yeah. In the bottom, what I have shown is all these karakas, be it Naisargik, Sthira, Charakarakas, are nothing but, helping you in various stages of your life, or becoming a problem in various stages of your life. So if you understand the concept of karakas very, very smartly, believe me, you will be able to understand or read a situation better than most. Most astrologers have got this arrogance or ignorance, shall I say, that this is too basic, this is something for the kids to learn, but the fact of the matter is that there is so much of information purely based on karakas. Why do we, when we talk about relationship, our first thought process is, hey, let us look at Venus? But have you ever understood that for a female, we need to look at Jupiter? Namaste Jyotisha lovers. Thank you so much for viewing the video. Please do share so more and more thirsty souls can benefit from this free knowledge which is being shared. Also do subscribe, click the bell icon, and all the questions that you have, please mention in the comment section below. Thank you so much, and please keep supporting us.